Guys, how's it going? Today we're going to go over how to draw Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. I'm going to be using this pencil right here. It's a Rembrandt Polycolor. Polycolor? Uh, it's just a colored pencil, I guess. It's okay. It's actually not that great. I just wanted to try new pencils out. So we're going to be drawing just the head, really, of Toothless. So what I want to do is I'm going to go pretty dark here, and this is just for the example. I wouldn't normally go this dark, but I want to talk to you about the structure of his head. He is a rectangle. His head is super rectangular, and so is his neck. You know, his neck almost goes flatly down. His mouth is toward near the bottom, like really almost like a sliver is left on the bottom of his mouth. And his eyes are huge. He was designed very clearly to be cute. You know what I mean? Based on a cat or a dog or both. He's got little spikes. Things on him are round. And I'm just kind of throwing these as placeholders. I'm just getting the proportion right now. That's all I'm doing. Just proportion. Because what I'm going to show you what I'm going to do right now is what I've been doing a lot of lately. Is, okay, so I got the general proportion. It looks like a paper bag almost. It's funny. Paper bag character. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper, I'm going to slide it underneath another piece of paper, right? That's why I did it so dark. So that I can see it underneath, see? So now I have something I don't have to erase, and works out. I'm going to go in, I'm going to sharpen my pencil here. I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to pull a really thick line. I'm going to use my line weight variation, you know, I talked about this in another video. If you need a reminder of that, I'll link it to you. His eye. Put that. Gotta give him a more animated look because he was a 3D character, right? So you're trying to make a 2D representation of a 3D character. It's a little bit. It can be a little hard, you know, because it's so smooth. You know, I'm gonna move his nose over a little bit. And I'm actually going to make this eye a little less seen because I'm going to make him turn slightly. So I'm going to deviate off that by almost cutting that in half almost, you know, because his eye is turning to the left. You're going to see less of it. Characters tend to look a little more dynamic in that 3/4 view. That's why I do that so much instead of doing dead on. Like if you do dead on, it kind of kills a lot of any dynamic to the features. I'm going to draw his mouth. I'm going to give him a kind of a cute expression. The mouth comes really close to the edge of where, you know, of his head, but not super close, not crazy close. You know, kind of a little bit of a wah look. It's got like a sharp tooth in there. I'm gonna be careful of the chin. The chin really, there's this little bend in the chin. Even though it's a very rectangular head, there's a slight bend in the chin. And I darken it a little bit around the chin. I darken my line a little bit around the chin here. See as it hits the peak of the chin here? Little tiny, it's such a slight, it's such a, wow, slight. It's such a slight, gradual peak that you really have to watch for it. You know what I mean? You really have to be careful with it. Going over the top of the head over here. Trying to match on the other side here. Top of the head here. Pulling back. On this shape Not making anything too sharp, because like I said, he's designed to be a cute character. Nothing too sharp. It's got kind of like a big spike and a little row of spikes in the back. Gonna pull his other. It's really soft. When we think about these spikes, kind of think of like almost like Pikachu spikes. They're pretty soft as well. Almost think of them like Nerf bats, something like that. I'm gonna pull his neck down. I'm gonna put a slight, even though it's pretty much a straight line, you don't want to make it a straight line. You want to make it an overlapping line to kind of give it slightly more dimension. And I'm gonna pull this other line down here for the front of his neck. Got a very cat-like look, like I said before. He acts kind of like a dog and a cat. His neck really looks like a cat. And maybe pull something at the bottom here to indicate his throat. Make this line a little bit thicker because it's supposed to be more on front, but you know, throw his throat there a little bit. Maybe throw a little bit of line. Throw a little line over here to indicate there's a plane change from the top of his head to the side of his head. And that's pretty much it, you know what I mean? He has that look. I'm going to darken, like, now it's just looking at the lines. We're just going over his head really quick. Go over the lines, because sometimes these lines, for example, see how thick, they go thick to thin. Then it's kind of learning about where to make them thicker, where to make them thinner, right? Because sometimes they're imbalanced. So what I try to do at the very end is I try to make sure there is some sort of balance, even to a line drawing. You know, even though this is behind there, I want to darken it a little bit, maybe darken this side. It's almost like you have a... I want to say when it comes with the value and the darkness of the lines themselves, it's almost like a, what do you call that thing? It's almost like a weight. You know what I mean? You're trying to figure out how much darkness would be on one side to the other. Even if he's, like, let's say this is a bigger shape, right? See how that's a bigger shape? Because of that, maybe that's kind of, maybe that makes the overall image a little heavier on the right side here. So what I would do to counter that is I might make this side a little darker, you know what I mean? Or throw another shape down here to kind of give it some balance. I'll talk about that in another video, like balancing just regular drawings. Even your sketches, you can kind of balance them out. You know, flipping them. There's a lot of things you can do to help that out. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot. I really appreciate watching this little demonstration. And please subscribe to my channel. Spread this around. I'm trying to grow my channel right now. It's growing very quickly. I'm very happy and I'm very proud for the guys watching. I mean, I'm really proud to have anybody watching me. It's very flattering and it's almost surreal. I never thought anybody would even want to watch anything I do. But thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you later.